What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Never Ending Voice podcast. It's me, Michael, aka Wolf Mantula. I have been gone for a little bit. I got really busy with some just personal life, and then I ended up getting sick. So I've been kind of dealing with that. If you can't tell, I still got a little bit of it, so I'm still a little sick. I'm technically no longer sick. I'm just trying to get over this crap. I had a upper respiratory infection. And also, if you can't tell, I got a new mic right here. So let me go ahead and put that in there. I got a new mic right here so that I can have better quality sound because I was having problems with that. So now we're set. This was only $40, so I'm pretty proud of myself. But anyways, this video is going to be a little update on a few things. I never got to post my third quarter top 5 books, and so I decided, you know what? I'm going to do that for this episode. I'm going to do that, and then I'm also going to talk about what I'm reading right now. And the bad thing about the top 5 is, well, in the third quarter I read 12 books, and 4 of them were 5 stars, and 5 of them I gave a 4.75. So I'm basically going to be talking about my entire third quarter, because I just chose some really good books that quarter, and it's going to be unfair of me to not choose one from out of all of them. But one of the things that I am reading right now is the advanced reader copy of A Pack of Wolves by P.L. Stewart. It is book 5 of the Drowned Kingdom saga. I am about 15% in. Man, all I have to say is if you want something that's just beautiful, just world building and just transports you, like, PL does that so magnificently. Like, he's one of my favorite authors right now, and it's still blowing my mind that it's not picked up as much as it should be. Like, I feel like more people should be talking about this series, and I really hope that it does pick up because it deserves a lot more love than what it's currently getting. And like, this needs to be one of those that people are talking about with Ryan Cahill and Ben Galley, and Philip Quantrell, and all these other guys that are booming right now. And so I do feel like that he's someone that needs to be picked up more. Like I said, this is book 5. It's going to be a 7-book series. I'm excited to kind of to finish it. Well, not finish it. Like, I want to enjoy it, but I'm ready to see what's going to happen through the rest of this book. But as I said, about 15% in, we're getting to know a lot of the characters, and excuse me. But yeah, so we're getting to know a lot of the characters. We're figuring out where people are, where they're going to be going to, what's the setup, and significant people are already kind of dying, and so you're kind of going, whoa, this is going to be pretty crazy once it gets going, because it's already kind of putting some stuff out there. So you've got that, and then now let's go ahead and jump into the my top reads of the third quarter. I'm just going to call them reads because, well, essentially, I read. Let's see, what is it? This is. Let me zoom in here. This is okay. So I read books 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the final novella, Philip Quantrell's Eater Saga. So I basically read the first 3 of his books at the beginning of this year, the first trilogy of the Echoes, and then the second trilogy and the third trilogy, plus the final novella of Leviathan. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. This is an amazing series. I have taken a little bit of a break just because, I read so many of them. More than likely, I'll be jumping back into it with the Ranger Archives and A Time of Dragons. So I will be getting to those pretty soon. The Ranger Archives trilogy, and then right now 2 of Time of Dragons is out. So I do need to kind of hurry up and get to those so that I can get to them before book 3 of A Time of Dragon comes out. But so I did read basically, so what was that? Those 7 books was part of my third quarter, and like I absolutely love Philip Quantrill. Like he just does such an amazing job, and it's not like it's like super 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 deep, but it's still deep with the world building and the characters' growth and everything that you would want in that classic fantasy, classic epic fantasy. And you have Battle Dragon. You have amazing battles like throughout every single book. There's something going on, and you have just so many good characters that sometimes you don't know which one you like the most, and then you end up having one that maybe he's not a main character, but you love him more than anyone because he makes you laugh all the time. And that was certainly with me. And then all of the Echo Saga, I probably could have given all of them except for 1 5 stars. I did deduct them based off of the narration, or at least the editing part of the narration. There were some times where it kind of got off. It wasn't where the word would be reading, but the Kindle Whisper Sync would be like sentences ahead of it highlighting. So it was just constantly off, and it was kind of killing my vibe a little bit. Based on the story and the characters, though, amazing. Should have been 5 stars, but 4.75. The Last Dragon, which is book 8, that was my least favorite. I gave it 4 stars. But then again, I mean, it was still an incredible book. I read the last 2 books of Christopher Rocchio's series, which is the Eater Saga. His Ashes of Man and Disquiet Gods, and I'm sure by now everybody knows how great this series is, and I don't really have to harp on too much about this, but these are 2 of my 5-star reads. I am excited for the final book to come out. I don't know how I feel about the fact that it's going to end, but the journey this year through that series has been amazing, and I have told everybody that I could, like, hey, look, you need to read this series. And I got it. I picked it up. I mean, I had already had it on my list, but it wasn't until I started talking to Patrick Leo, and Mike's Book Reviews, and them really recommending it a lot more, which a lot of people started reading this because of both of them as well. I am one of them. It was already there for me, and let's turn that a little bit. There we go. It was already there for me. I just never was like, I'll get to it when I get to it. And then finally I decided, you know what? Boom, we're doing it. And I did it. And I enjoyed it. It's been just painstakingly awesome. And I say painstakingly because it is a slow kind of story that builds and builds and builds. So if you're not into that kind of slower style, like, it is not going to be something that you enjoy. But then again, I think you will. So you have that. And then I also read The Will of the Many by James Islington. And man, I have to tell you, if you have not read this book, it's the Hierarchy Book 1, and I am absolutely stoked to find out what happens in Book 2. I'm hoping that drops sometime next year. I would assume it is. But this one, I'm telling you, like, if you love the Greco-Roman style, similar to what Red Rising is, but it's not anything like Red Rising. So when you get that hear that, a lot of it is based on the fact that both of them use that Greco-Roman history as a tool to build the world, as build the history. So you're not really getting Red Rising per se, but you are getting something that has some of those same kind of tones to it. And it is a really good story and kind of reminds me a little bit of Ender's Game in a way. So I'm excited to see what happens because James Islington, man, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Islington? I'm not 100% on that. But I am an absolute fan, and I would definitely recommend this one to everyone. This was another one of my 5-star reads. Like I said, there was only one book that wasn't a 5 or a 4.75. Oh, I have one 4.5. But all the books in that third quarter have been amazing. And then we go to The Crucible of Chaos by Sebastian de Castell. I'm just going to say this. Anything that he writes, especially when it comes to that, that world of Tristia and the swashbuckling and all that, I'm 100% in. Without a doubt, I am in. And Crucible of Chaos, it added an extra flavor of supernatural. So on top of the whole swashbuckling, now you have this kind of ghost story that you're trying to solve, and it made it even better. Like anything that he does, he makes magic, especially in this world, and it is very just fun and just. And on top of that, you have Joe Jameson, who is the narrator, who is one of my absolute favorites. He just nails characters and emotions like nobody's business, and he makes the story even better than what it should be. So that again, that's another one I would recommend if you haven't read the Greatcoats Quartet by Sebastian de Castell. I would 100% recommend that. And then after you're done with that, I would jump on the Crucible of Chaos. And then in my video for next quarter that I'm going to be talking about, we're going to be talking about another de Castell book. But I'm not going to talk about that now. The final book that I'm going to talk about that I read in this quarter is Bloodrush by Ben Galley. Now, I went into this loving it from the beginning because, I'm from Texas. The whole Weird West thing, I love Westerns. I love sci-fi. I love fantasy. So now you're giving me something that's Western plus fantasy. So I'm definitely in on it, right? Okay, so not only that, but I was able to talk to him and give him an idea, and that was to add someone famous from history that was actually in the area at this time, where his book is, where this is actually set. So it ended up being perfect, and because of that, I also got a little cameo myself as Wolf Mantula in the book. So I mean, that made it even better for me. But the story itself was also pretty awesome. If you watched the interview, we had a really good time, him and I, talking about this book and pretty much everything else. But we had a really good time talking about this book in particular because I love the fact that he made this magic out of blood. But it wasn't just you drink blood and all of a sudden you got this power. Like, it depended on what kind of blood it was. So if you got blood from a tiger, you got attributes from a tiger. If you got blood from a crab, you got blood from a crab, and you got attributes from it. So if you try to run forward, you're running sideways, and that is in the book, and I absolutely loved it. It made me laugh so much. But there is, in that trilogy, like, I haven't read book 2 yet, and it is, book 2 and 3 are on my list to do, but I haven't got to those yet, and I will be getting to them it's very soon. But I would highly recommend people jumping in on that. One, just so you can read it, because it is good. It is a republished, because he did it 10 years ago, went back, touched it up, got a new cover, and then he decided, you know what, it's got a new cover, why not go in and fix some of the old stuff that I did? So he updated it, So it's essentially a new book and a new trilogy. So go out there. I would say get it because you're probably going to love it just as much as I did. I gave it 4.5 stars. I mean, I probably could have given a little bit more, but 4.5 stars is still good. It still rounds up to a 5, and I'm still talking about it here. So that is my roundup for all those books. And again, I do apologize for it being so, was it like 2 or 3 weeks now that I haven't put out a video. So I do apologize for how long it's been. I do plan to make sure that I'm posting at least once a week. I'm going to try to do twice a week. We'll see. We'll do like a weekly update thing. And, you know, while I'm here, we do have Horns and Halos by J.S. Morin. Oh, tomorrow. Yeah, so that is book 9 of The Passage of Time. And then on the 15th, you have The Hound of Hell, book 7 by Rory D. Nelson. Followed also on the 15th, you have A Stitch Between Worlds, which is a short story collection by Fraser Armitage. On the 16th, you have The Isle of Stars by Luna Nightshade. On the 17th, you also have Pendragon, book 2 of the Chronicles of Arthur by Peter Gibbons. This is another one that I'm interested in doing because I already did the trilogy. Oh, something that I'll be talking about in the next video, in next quarter video. So yeah, keep an eye on that. And you have Red Sonja by Gail Simone. It comes out on the 19th. The Fate of Silent Gods by Scott Drakeford comes out on the 19th. And you have Cosmic Widow, number 3 of the Agent Renault Adventure by Jonathan Navarre. On the 19th, we also have City and Its Uncertain Walls by Haruki Murakami. Will of the Infinite. It is an updated and revised edition by Martha Wells coming out on the 19th. The Strongest Student, number 2 by Andrei Chakev comes out on the 19th. Vice and Void by Sadie Hewitt is book 1 of the Savage Wolves Brotherhood. That one comes out on the 19th as well. And then on the 20th, you have A Frost of Time and Tears, which is a short story part of the Levanthria series by A.P. Beswick. On the 21st, we'll have Rune to Ruin by Gregory Amato. On the 25th, The Spell Knight, Book 3, Redemption by T.J.J. Klamvik. On the 26th, there will be a special edition of The Poppy War by R.F. Kang. That'll be coming out. It's just a special edition that you can get on Amazon. This is going to be just a special hardback copy. Also on the 26th, there is The Tale of the Heart Queen by Nisha J. Tooley. And then the last two here, we have A Kingdom of Ash and Fire, which is book 3 of The Servant's Lament by Chris S. Sendrowski. And The Witch's Awakening, book 1 of The Echoes of Salem by Hannah Blackwood. Okay, so those are all the books that are coming out for the rest of the year. I will be posting a video, I would say probably after Thanksgiving. That will be for December. And for December right now, I only have 30 books, so I'll try to keep that within like 5 minutes. You know, we'll see about that. But anyways, it's been good to kind of come back and talk, guys. And I hope y'all have a good one. Peace out.